Hey guys, SupremeMarket9 here with my first Pokemon Quest video. I'm literally sitting here playing the game right now. I haven't stopped since it came out, mainly because there are shinies in it, so naturally I'm completely obsessed. And of course, a lot of you guys are asking me the best methods of shiny hunting in this game already, which I didn't know right away, so I had to play it myself. So for research purposes, I have not stopped. But now that I've got a bunch of them myself, I feel like I have a really good grip on what's important, what you should do, what you shouldn't do, and things like that. So the first half of this video is going to focus mainly on whether or not you should put any money into this game, because even though it's free to play, you are able to pay and get a bunch of features that you don't get when you have the free version. And then the second half is all about shiny hunting tips and the best methods to find the most Pokemon in the shortest amount of time, which I'm actually really excited about to share because I'm sure most of you haven't thought of it. And there's basically a way to manipulate this game so that you're almost having your stews cook instantly without having to refill them with your tickets. So if you don't know what that means, watch the video. Make sure you watch until the end. And if any of these tips help you out, please leave a like on this video. And if you're not already, subscribe to the channel. But without further ado, let's get into this.
Okay, so right off the bat, I want to talk about whether or not this downloadable content or payable content is actually worth buying, especially when it comes to people like us that are shiny hunters. I'll be completely honest, I didn't expect to put any money into this game. I didn't even know if I was going to play it, but as soon as I saw that shiny Pokemon were in it, I knew that it might be something that I'd be into, especially being, you guys know, Pokemon Rumble is a huge thing for a lot of shiny hunters, so this had a very Rumble-esque vibe to it, and so I fell in love with it very quickly, and so I decided to buy the DLC just so I can see if it was worth having and tell you guys whether or not it was. And for the most part, I would say 100% it's definitely worth it if you plan on shiny hunting in these games. So probably the biggest advantage and best selling point of buying this downloadable content is instead of having one pot at your base, which you have to use in order to encounter Pokemon, you get 3 more. So now instead of 1, you're getting 4. And for those of you that have no idea what I'm talking about because you haven't downloaded or played the game yet, basically all that means is at your base, per pot, you'll only see about 1 or 2 Pokemon if you're lucky come to your base, you know, every 5 or 6 expeditions, which is insanely slow. But now that you've got 4, you're gonna see at the minimum 4 Pokemon, so already 4 times or double what you would normally see, and it can go all the way up to 8. So purely based on just the amount of Pokemon that you encounter in a certain period of time, this is definitely worth paying for. Another huge aspect to this game, which is honestly how they get you, is the battery life. You need battery life in order to go on expeditions, and without expeditions, your stews can't cook, and without your stews cooking, then new Pokemon won't ever come to your base. So a lot is riding on how much battery life you have, and normally you start out with 5, but when you pay for it, you end up with 8. So having 3 more slots and being able to do 3 more expeditions is the difference between having to stop and have your battery recharge or actually getting to do an extra few encounters, which could potentially give you a shiny that session. And last but not least, really quickly, I want to talk about tickets in this game because you get daily tickets and you also get tickets for certain achievements that you get through the game. And these tickets can be used for a bunch of different reasons in the game. And normally you get about 50 daily tickets, but when you buy the DLC, you end up with getting 190 daily tickets, which is so much more. And you can do so much with these things that it's the difference between actually getting to continue, recharge your battery life, and do an entire new session, or having to wait it out like you would normally. There are also items and a few Pokemon that you get when you pay for it, so definitely worth the $30, especially when you think about the fact that it's a flat rate. It's not something that you can really keep putting money into and waste a ton. It's basically like you're paying $30 for the game and you're playing the demo as the original. So if you can't afford it or you don't have the money to do it, then it's okay. You can continue to shiny hunt, but without a doubt, if you put $30 into this game, you're getting your money's worth. And now onto the shiny hunting portion of this game. Basically, like I said before, I've already gotten around 6 shinies in this game, so I feel like I have a really good understanding on things that you should do, little things that you shouldn't do, and the best possible way to get the most encounters that you can in the shortest amount of time. Now, if you do nothing else in regards to this video, this is probably the most important. The items that you have in this game pretty much make or break how many Pokemon you're going to see and how often you're able to make stews and things like that. Now already, when you pay the $30, you do get the Lapras Pool, which is an item that allows more Pokemon to come to your base. It makes it more frequent. It multiplies it by like 2. There's another item in the store that costs 400 tickets, so it's a little steep, but definitely worth it. I've already bought it and noticed a noticeable difference, and that is the Pikachu Surfboard. This one multiplies it by 1.5, so not quite the ×2 that you get with the Lapras Pool, but definitely still a noticeable difference when compared to when you're first starting the game. And then other than that, pretty much every other other item in the shop does serve some kind of purpose. So even if you're using a lot of your daily quota on expeditions and being able to get more pots cooked, it's really important to be saving around 25 to 50 a day so that within a week you can start buying some of these other things that help drop more ingredients and things like that, so that you're able to start building up your collection of items and thus get more out of the game than you do from the start. And yes, thankfully, when you do own an item and purchase them, you don't even have to put them down in your base, which is very good because there's not a lot of space to put stuff down. But as long as you own it, then the effects of it will appear. And for those of you that aren't going to be putting any money in this game but still want to shiny hunt and are worried that you're going to run out of ingredients, well, the best possible way to grind out ingredients that I found is to go back to bosses that you can beat pretty easily and just keep beating them over and over and over, and then over time you're going to end up with like a ton of ingredients. I have over 900 of one right now. You also end up getting a bunch of stones with that too, and they're most likely going to be stones that you've outgrown, so just get rid of them because you get a ton of ingredients from those as well. And yes, annoyingly, they do max out at 999, so if you do end up maxing one out, then waste them. Use them on silver pots, get something really good out of it, because even if you get more of that type of ingredient, you don't get to keep them because you've maxed out already. That being said, I think it's important to say that it doesn't really matter what color pot you're using. You can get something extremely rare from a stone pot and use way less ingredients, or you could use a ton of ingredients in a silver pot and get something super common. The only thing that seems to really be affected by the color of the pot is the level of the Pokemon that you get. So definitely do not feel like you need to be using gold pots nonstop. It really doesn't matter. And so what do you do when you have too many ingredients and you don't feel like spending minutes on every single expedition and just kind of want to encounter Pokemon right now? Well, there is always the choice of going back to your base and finishing the pot early, but that could waste too many PM tickets and it's not really the most viable option. But what me and my friend Mr. Let's Play It discovered while shiny hunting in these games is there is a brand new method which resembles very similarly the go to terminal method in Pokemon Rumble, except it's way faster, and that is the give up method. Basically, all you have to do is go into the expedition, and then as soon as it starts, hit pause, and then click give up, and you're done, and it registers it. Yes, it does take a notch off the battery, but it also puts a notch on the stews, which is amazing. This is so freaking quick, and that means if you are in a hurry and you just want to get your encounters done and do a bunch of pots right away, you can waste away those 8 without having to worry about picking up ingredients and just check them all right then. I will say that the only time I actually recommend finishing the stew early is just when you have like 3 other stews ready to go and only one of them isn't. That way you don't have to keep going back and forth between your base and expeditions. You can just check them all right then together and then restart them all there together. And yeah, that's basically all there is to it for shiny hunting in these games. If you do want to target specific things, there are a ton of tutorials online. A-Drive did a really good one about how to target specific Pokemon, but I do want to leave off with a few fun shiny Pokemon facts about these games to kind of get you guys more excited about shiny hunting in them. Not only do Pokemon evolve in this game, so when you do find a shiny Pokemon, you can actually use it and evolve it up to its final evolution, so that's amazing. Your shiny Pokedex is going to fill up really fast that way. But you can also find legendary Pokemon in this game, which is completely crazy. I didn't think that would be a thing, and I definitely didn't think that they could be shiny, but a lot of people have already found shiny Articunos and shiny Mewtwo's, so it's definitely a thing. So when you beat this game and when you get to the end, shiny hunting legendary Pokemon is totally going to be a thing. So anyways, I'm going to get back to shiny hunting in these games. I hope you guys are enjoying Pokemon Quest, and if you haven't even downloaded it yet, I mean, definitely do. It's also coming to mobile, so if you don't have a Switch, you don't have to worry too much longer. It's going to be a mobile game, and you're going to be able to shiny hunt in these games just like everybody else. Once again, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this little shiny hunting tutorial. I hope it helped out a little bit. If it did, please give this video a thumbs up, and if you're not already, definitely subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching. More videos are coming very soon, but until next time, this is Supreme Arcanine signing out. See you guys later.